If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around to hear it, does it make a sound? The answer is yes, obviously, but this question touches upon an interesting aspect of human perception. If it is normally outside of our perception, we tend to just not think about it. Why would we? If it's outside of our world and our experience, then most of us are not going to give it any thought. It doesn't matter to us whether or not the tree made a sound, but, some of us still kind of want to know. So the next question is, if we didn't hear it or see it, how can we know the tree fell? Well, the first indicator that a tree has fallen would be the fact that it is no longer standing upright. That may help us figure out which trees have fallen and which haven't. I'm joking. You can't tell. We know which trees have fallen because there is clear evidence of it. Every action that occurs within reality is bound to leave some kind of evidence, even if it's not possible to measure just yet. If I drop a penny on the sidewalk, this has left both a mark on the sidewalk and on the penny. They may be invisible without a microscope, but that evidence does exist. You could examine the spots where the two first connected and theoretically determine what angle the penny hit the pavement and how fast it was going. It would take a ton of work and some special equipment, but you could do it. With this in mind, imagine that reality is a gigantic canvas. Every action, every event, everything that happens within reality leaves a blot of paint on the canvas. Some blots of paint are larger than others, which means some blots are easier to cover with more blots of paint. Sometimes the color bleeds through anyway, and sometimes the blot underneath is covered so well it's as if nothing else had ever been there. These events overlap constantly, and they are constantly overwriting each other. If the penny I dropped gets put through a penny pressing machine, then there's likely no more evidence that it was dropped. That paint spot ends up very thoroughly covered by the new action of the penny press. In this sense, reality is like a heavily layered creation that builds upon itself endlessly. Fossils and artifacts are just the old paint layers that have survived long enough to be found. They're the evidence of when the painting of reality was older and had a different array of colors, so to speak. Reality would have to be a very messy painting, naturally. I like this analogy personally, because it reminds me that every action, no matter how small, does actually leave an impact on reality. It may be imperceptible, borderline invisible, but it is very real. So while we can't really know for sure if the tree did make a sound while nobody was around, we can at least know that it did indeed fall.